Hey there, cake fans. This is my very first YouTube-based video. Not a lot of you know me, but I usually do cake critiques on TikTok. Usually around 3 minutes long, but that doesn't really give me a lot of time to really look at the cakes. I figured this way we can dive deep into some of them. We can take a look at as to why some of them don't work very well, and maybe even offer a few helpful suggestions. So, with that being said, let's do our very first YouTube what they wanted versus what they got. Up first, we have a rainbow drip cake. It looks like it might be a double barrel, maybe even just 1.5. There's a rainbow drip coming from the top. There's rainbow lollipops, a happy 18th birthday cake topper on it. Down at the bottom, there's star tipping, which I personally don't like star tipping, and they're covered in nerds, so that makes it fine. Moving on to what the customer received when they asked the baker to recreate this cake, they got a mess. Sometimes it's hard to tell exactly what the customer was asking for. Maybe they didn't want, the lollipops, or maybe they were just going to put it on themselves. Maybe they're going to put on the cake topper themselves, or maybe they just wanted a rainbow drip cake with nothing else. If you look at the original, it looks like it was, it could be a glaze. It's more likely a white chocolate drip, a little liquidy, so it runs down the cake a little bit better. Now you go to what the person was given. It might be a white chocolate drip. It looks like when it touches the sides, though, it comes off pretty easily, so it might even just be like a melted frosting drip. In the original, the colors kind of come from the middle and go outwards. This one, they just dripped from the edges and then covered it with the blue, and then they just kind of splattered all over. It does look like they did the same sort of star tipping border at the bottom. It looks like they used sprinkles instead of nerds. Fine, I guess. You can also kind of see there's a bulge on the side of the cake. That's usually caused by either a really warm environment, causing the frosting to melt. That can be caused by a really heavy cake with not enough support from the frosting. You have to find that good balance of a light cake that also has some body to keep it up, and then the frosting also has to be strong enough to hold that cake, but not so dense that it's like sickly sweet, full of sugar kind of thing. So it could be one of those two things, or it could be both. There's a lot of things that happen sometimes when it comes to cake. There's a lot of factors and variables that can cause problems and issues. You never know what's going to happen. I figure why not we keep the rainbow colorful theme going. So for this next one, it's more of a paint themed cake. It's very cute. The paint bottles look like they were made with fondant. Same thing with the paintbrushes. Same thing with the paint palette up top. Looks like the whole cake was covered in fondant. You can kind of see at the bottom there, there's a little bit of a fold, so that I think that's from the fondant. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, moving on to what the customer received. What the customer received, maybe they asked for, the cake to not be covered in fondant, so that's fine if you can achieve what you want without fondant. The drip is completely liquid. It kind of looks like it's literally just water and color. Maybe with like a little bit of chocolate. I don't know. It's definitely not ganache. Definitely not frosting. So I don't know what they tried to accomplish there. I mean, heck, even royal icing would be better. Um, the paint palette is, okay. It kind of looks like a children's art project. Like in art class, they would make clay things out of clay. And that's what it looks like. It looks like they painted a thing of clay they made. I don't know what the paint can in the back completely looks like, but from the little peek that we do have, it doesn't look much better than the rest of the cake, to be honest. Overall, it's just not a good execution of the cake that was presented to the baker. All right, we are still keeping on theme with the colorful vibe. So this cake that was shown to the baker, this cake was made by Anarchy Cake Studio. I love Anarchy. They make such good stuff. Everything is super good. And this is no different. It's a cute little like fiesta style. It says Uno. I assume it's like a first birthday smash cake deal. The cute little cacti at the bottom, adorable. The cake looks like a piñata, adorable. Okay, everything about this, I love it. I love it so much. Now, I don't love what the customer got. Okay, first of all, the frosting ribbons on the side, I don't know. It looks like frosting. Either way, whatever it is, it was not done well. They don't look like frilly ribbons, they just look like stripes. It's just a striped cake. So that kind of like takes away from the piñata thing that is supposed to be going on. The top is, if you look back at the original, it's a cute little bead border right at the very edge. And then you look at the, what the person got, and it's just like those balloons that decorators put on cakes. It's just blob and then drag. And then, moving on to the fondant. If you don't know how to work with fondant, if you can't work with fondant, just own up to it. Because honestly, fondant can be tricky. Its workability depends on, the environment that you're in. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it dry? Is it humid? It depends on the brand of fondant. Some fondants are a little tougher than others. Some are less pliable than others. Anyway, I digress. If you can't work with fondant, just say you can't work with fondant. I think even trying to make those characters with frosting would have gone better for this baker, because I don't know if some of these bakers got past grade school art class. It also baffles me that they can like give this to the customer and they're like, yeah, this looks exactly like what you ordered. I don't know what's wrong with it. Like, are you blind? Really? Also, the 2 at the top, it's cute, for what it's supposed to be, I guess. It's not that well executed. Also, it's kind of weird because the chili, it looks like an L. It looks like Luo. And like, obviously, it is kind of hard. You know what I would have done, actually? I would have probably made the cactus the T, okay? Because you can get away with that. Because that makes more sense. You don't have to put a chili up there. It's, you can, when a customer comes to you with a certain cake look or a theme, or just an example cake like this, offer options. It's okay if you want to change a little thing here or there depending on what they need. So when they said, can you make this but it says 2 on top, say, well, with the chili it's going to be kind of weird because there's not going to be a crossbar for the T. You know what I can do? I can make the cactus the T instead. And then just put a couple different cactus at the bottom. Heck, put a couple different chilies at the bottom. Yeah? Okay, we're all on the same page? Great. All right, one last colorful cake to round out the video. This person, this is less what they wanted versus what they got. This is what the person posted on a Facebook, website, or not website, on a Facebook group, saying this is what I'm looking for. Who knows of any bakers or bakeries that can do this for me? Okay, and it's a 2-tier pastel rainbowy kind of unicorn cake, and then with the mane kind of flowing down, it looks like the name is painted on with gold edible luster dust or whatever. Either way, this is kind of what they were looking for. Some people replied, right, as to what they could do, and one person thought that their example was good enough to be like, hey, reach out to me, I can make this cake, or something similar. And they posted this. I do you think she was being pranked? Do you think that she was like, this is gonna be hilarious, I'm gonna put this terrible picture as an example? It's like half unicorn, half spider. It's so hard to actually figure out what this is. Also, apparently, according to this person, horses blink this way, their eyelids go instead of down. The hair is also not doing it for me. I mean, I understand that they're individual cupcakes, but you could have literally taken different colors of frosting and just all the way down for the main. My only critique for the rest of it is just to learn what a horse looks like. Is this are we looking at it from the front? I don't know. I don't really know what's going on with this cupcake. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of what they wanted versus what they got. Check me out on TikTok. I have a whole plethora of videos. I'm probably going to put them all together, then put them on YouTube, so then you can just go through a bunch at a time. But if you do want to check out my TikTok, it's Alex Oltz. ALEXOLTS. Okay, bye. Bye, cake fans. Bye.